The fact that Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl had a bad start when it was released last year is kind of old news at this point. The A-Life system caused more problems than the thrills it was meant to bring, while bugs, glitches, and performance issues marred what should have been a very rewarding experience. However, developer GSC's struggles to get the game to its final release were well documented, earning the studio some goodwill, which has worked hard to retain with 7 major patches to its flagship title, and a PS5 port that brings some great exclusive additions to the game. Now, we've previously commented on how the first 5 patches felt like an evolution of the game into a version of itself that not only looked to fix problems, but improved strengths. Another 2 updates have since arrived, bringing their own special additions to the zone, which begs the question, is Stalker 2 finally fixed and completed? Well, join us and find out. Unlocking the night. Things could get very dark in the zone once the sun sets, and exploring at night was quite a sore point in the game. That was until the Night of the Hunter update that dropped in September 2025, bringing fixes and improvements while giving players a very valuable tool to aid their nighttime strolls. The night vision goggles gave any aspiring stalker the ability to see better at night, and even use their weapons quite effectively thanks to an attached laser pointer and an aiming offset feature that's quite helpful when you have it running. What's more, the quest to acquire them sent you back to one of the cast's most memorable characters. But the mere addition of the NVGs alone isn't how GSC managed to make this update count. It was the manner in which they addressed a problem with the world's design, while also bringing an important layer of immersion to the gameplay loop on offer. That's because going out at night meant more ways to engage with the zone and its A-Life system, a potent combination made even more unpredictable by the darkness and its dangers. It's the perfect showcase of how GSC managed to up the ante with its updates, adding content that brings meaningful innovations to the core experience on offer in Stalker 2. If you thought hunting at night was going to give you an advantage, the fact that other stalkers could be using night vision to hunt you down should be a good enough reason to be as cautious as you can if you do step out into the zone's shadows. But again, the zone is meant to be dangerous and not conducive to casual strolls. The night vision goggles only ensure that you're not tripping over your own feet in the dark. They were a clever way to expand a dangerous playing field by giving it an entirely different and explorable time of day by one simple change. Should GSC have delayed Stalker 2 a little more and brought all of the features it has added since the game's release to the table all in one go? Well, perhaps yes, but Stalker 2's troubled development cycle might not have been entirely under the studio's control. However, in the year that has passed, has it done enough to bring the game up to scratch? Certainly yes. The Expedition update is the one that has brought Stalker 2 very close to its final form, and done so with style. The definitive Stalker experience. The 7th major update to Stalker 2, the Expedition update, brought several noteworthy additions to the game. But there was a crucial difference this time around. The new update brought more new content to the game alongside a few fixes, a showcase that Stalker 2 is now as close as it can be to the original vision that GSC had for it. Let's start with the titular Expeditions. It brings changes to the exploration loop that add a layer of authenticity to exploring the zone, in our honest opinion. By relegating saving to camps that you need to visit, along with the ability to get a good grip on what the newly added master difficulty setting would bring on an easier mode, it's the perfect excuse for a new playthrough with all of the bells and whistles from the previous updates. However, Expedition mode is not the only brilliant addition to this game. There's also the fact that improved stealth is now an option when you're out in the zone, a change that has been very welcome among critics and players alike. GSC hasn't reinvented the wheel here, merely nerfing your enemy's ability to see you when you use tall grass or dense vegetation to hide your approach. Many have since commented that taking enemies on in environments like the swamps or cornfields, where it sort of felt unfair for enemies to just fire bullets right into you despite not being able to see you. It was quite jarring and ruined the immersion, while also serving as an annoying reminder that not everything in the zone worked as intended. But now, hunting and, well, stalking your enemies from the shadows is a viable playstyle, allowing players to bring a layer of tactical strategy to the table. It's a change that was definitely warranted, and GSC's execution in this regard must be commended. It's one of the details that's going to make Stalker 2 feel like a very different game to the one that we played last year, and there's more. The A-Life system had its lows, sure, but the January 2025 update did a lot to make the zone work almost independently of the player. It's made survival in its post-apocalyptic world quite a challenge every time you venture out, but is also a great way to make every time you leave the safety of a hideout as unpredictable as you could possibly want here. However, even as it brought a great version of the game to the PS5, GSC has managed to bring a major change to the A-Life system that could make the game's open world a very different place. That's because the many factions vying for control over their little pockets of it will now be active conflict with each other. That means the place you just left might not be the place you return to a while later if the faction controlling it failed to defend it for its invaders. The mutants are a major part of the chaos, defending their nests with territorial ferocity. GSC effectively made the zone a living, breathing entity that's utterly apathetic to the life within its confines, while its causality sets events in motion whether you're ready for them or if you're not. It's almost like the A-Life system feels complete after its January 2025 revival, and now makes every minute in the zone feel like things could go in an entirely different direction than what you're expecting in just a matter of seconds. It's a great way to finally achieve a hallmark of some of the best open worlds out there, and a testament to GSC's commitment to rewarding its players for their support and loyalty over a few troubled years. Of course, the addition of more anomalies after the fire-based one in the Night Hunter update, along with little details like a tremor affecting your aim after too many energy drinks, and further balancing of the sprint and stamina systems to make the entire experience more authentic and immersive have also helped here. Stalker 2 finally feels like the game it was always meant to be. Taking things further. Of course, all of these fixes and additions might have been more than sufficient to draw new players to the game's recently released PS5 version. It was a section of Stalker 2's audience that watched from the sidelines as GSC brought the game back to life from the jaws of obscurity. But by utilizing the DualSense's unique feature set, GSC has managed to make each weapon feel distinct thanks to the adaptive triggers, while the controller's haptics are being put to good use to make each distinct surface and terrain in the zone stick out. The inbuilt speaker handles all of your radio communications, while the visuals, especially on the PS5 Pro, shine through here. It's all a showcase of the effort that GSC has put into bringing Stalker 2 up to scratch. But in the process, it feels like the game is now even more than what it could have been last year. We'd even say that this survival shooter is more than merely fixed. It's gone beyond mere repairs to make a few modifications that have made its journey more than just a redemption arc. It's now a success story and a beacon for other titles that do not perform well when they are launched, but still manage to turn things around in the aftermath and garner some goodwill. Stalker 2 now joins the likes of titles like No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077 as a redemption story worth knowing, and is now a game that we'd recommend diving into irrespective of whether you played it before or are an absolute newbie to this franchise. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.